Okay, good afternoon. Well, good evening, actually. Seeming as it is 4:34 p.m. Eastern Time for me, local time. Hoping everybody is having an absolutely wonderful and fantastic start to their week. I know I have. It's raining like you wouldn't believe outside. We're getting 3.5 inches of rain tonight. On top of the snow that we already got the other day, so potentially we could have some flooding issues over here tonight or tomorrow morning, but we shall see. Mom, welcome to the stream. Welcome, love you. Sebastian, what's going on? Welcome. Look what's in front of us, folks. The PMDG 737-800. It's been quite some time since we've been in the PMDG 737. I'm looking forward to getting back into this airplane. It's always such a joy to fly. Farmer, what's up? He says, good evening. I am here for takeoff and off to bed. Well, I do not blame you, friend. Go to bed and get some rest for sure. We are currently sitting at Dallas Love Field in Dallas, Texas, which is Southwest Airlines' main hub, and we are heading on over towards Amarillo, Texas, folks, and we are going to Husband Amarillo International Airport for this first leg, so it should be a nice route, about an hour on the flight time, and then we are heading right on back to Dallas, which will also be about an hour on the flight time as well. The weather is looking absolutely fantastic. Nothing too crazy looking like is going on here. Nice and clear skies here in Dallas, so I'm not expecting any hiccups or bumps or anything like that on our way to Amarillo. I finally fixed the PMDG 737. What was wrong with it? We are under tornado watch and wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. Oh boy, and lots of rain. Yeah, I think that we are getting another storm too. I'm not sure. I think we're going to be getting the same storm that you guys are getting later on this weekend. I think on Saturday we're going to be getting even more rain, so my goodness, with all the rain, give us a break, right? So yeah, going to be looking forward to flying this aircraft again. I absolutely love it. And we were buttering the A300, so hopefully we have no problem getting a butter on the 737. Always love Southwest Airlines. They are my favorite airline here in the U.S. One of the only airlines I've ever actually flown on in real life, next to Frontier. And, you know, if you've ever flown Frontier, you know how that goes. So, yeah, we'll give everybody a few more minutes to hop in here before we get in the flight deck and get everything started. We are using the frame gen mod as usual, and the PMDG is not anywhere near a frame hogger as the iniBuilds or the Fenix or anything like that, so we are actually getting 86, 87 frames right now sitting in Dallas, so the the simulator is going to be buttery smooth for us on the way to Amarillo. So everything is looking good for us. I hope everybody's having a excellent week, and thank you all for joining and tuning in so we can get up in the air and have some fun. Was not downloading the folder for the 737 into community, so I went and found a copy of the 737 file in my old community from my older drive and brought it into my new community, so now it works. That's weird. Yeah, I haven't really had any issues like that when it comes to installations. We've had pretty good luck as far as that, but I'm happy you got it fixed and now you're able to enjoy the airplane just like we are. Alright, what about you say we hop inside the flight deck now and get everything up and running. I watched Reed Timmer live stream earlier today and he was storm chasing in Florida. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot of tornadoes and stuff going on all over the place right now. A lot of crazy weather going on across the United States. Alright, let's get inside the flight deck, folks, and let's get everything up and moving. We'll head to the overhead panel first, and the first thing that we are going to do is get our battery switch turned on. There we go, battery has been turned on. Ground power, which we don't have connected. I thought we did. We should have. Janet, hey, what's going on? She says, I just got home from work. Well, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We should have the ground power unit connected, right? Yeah, GPU card, it's connected. I'm not sure why we are not getting the option to turn on ground power. That's very interesting. We don't have a ground power available light. Let's see what happens if we click it down. Yeah, nothing. Very, very interesting. Very interesting start to the stream here. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Let's try, ground power type, GPU core, external pit power, GPU. Am I forgetting something here? It's not in here, is it? I didn't think so. Hey, DOD is in the house. What's going on? Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Where on earth is the ground power? Oh, ground power request. I'm such a dummy. Oh my gosh. It was not connected yet. Oh, what a dummy. For some reason, I thought when it was up here meant it was connected, and I'm just blind and didn't take a look at that. So once we get that connected, we'll get ground power turned on. There we go. There we go. Ground power available. Let's get her clicked in. There we go. Ground power is looking good. We have our source selector set to ground power and battery, which is fine. The emergency exit lights will be armed. Our position lights are already on, so we don't have to do anything there. Alright, next step is to head up just a little bit and turn on our IRSs into nav mode. Both of those, we will get those going. And then we will get our unit turned on up here, get the brightness turned up all the way so we can see. There we go. So now we should be on a status mode. It says 0. Yeah, I know you guys can't see it because it's in the way, but we have 0 minutes until time is aligning, but that's because we haven't entered in any of our init data. Why are we sitting so high? That is a FSRealistic setting. There we go. Much better. Okay, wonderful. Let's head on down to our FMC. Let's get the preliminary things out of the way. Enter IRS position. I know, nav data out of date. Of course it is. Last position, we'll just use this. We'll be lazy. Enter that in. The ILS should be aligning now. The ground power is very dependent sometimes. Some liveries have it off, and I don't know why livery control if you start the ground power on or not. Yeah, I actually had to update the 737 a little bit earlier on today, and when I went into this livery, I downloaded it and I went in and it was all over the place. I had to reconfigure the whole airplane, so I think maybe I just forgot to start with ground power connected. But that's no big deal, nothing that we can't fix. Before we go any farther, let's head over to back to our menu and let's get our fuel and payload all set up here. My Wi-Fi is acting up. Hopefully I won't lose it due to start storming here soon and very windy. Oh boy, well, be safe, mama. Hopefully it'll pass quickly for you. Okay, what do we need to find here? We need to go to our SimBrief OFP and we need to get our total fuel. All else fails, just fire up the APU. Yep, we got it. We should be good to go. Looking like a block fuel here of 15,704 pounds. So 15,704. There we go. Our fuel is all set and ready to go. We'll come over here to our payload. We're expecting a 0 fuel weight for this first leg of 134,000 pounds. So we'll just enter that in as an even number, 134.0. We'll pop that in there. Awesome. And how many passengers do we have? 183. So we have one open seat available on the airplane, folks. One open seat. So if anybody wants to hitch a ride, you better act soon, because we are getting out of here before you know it. So we have all of that ready to go. We already identified ourselves and put in our position. Now let's come over here to our route and get everything set up there. Do you use the SimBrief import system? If so, can I show how that works? No, I don't. Not generally. I just like to enter everything in myself just so I can have complete and total control. And then I haven't tried it on the PMDG yet, but I guess we can request this from SimBrief here. And there we go. There's our flight number, Whiskey November 16, our alternate OKC. What is that? Will Rogers World in Oklahoma City. Oh boy. Average wind 304 at 66. That's cool. Cost index 50. Route distance. Oh, okay. So it gives me a whole bunch of information over here. Yeah, I haven't really played around with the PMDG since they brought the EFB in, to be completely honest with you. So I haven't really messed around with it at all. Hope the door stays on. Yeah. Let's hope so. We're not on a max 9, so we should be all set to go, right? Okay. Everything's looking good. Let's just bring up our OFP so we can all look at everything together as we are going along here. Let's get over to our routing, which is going to be right down here for us. So, coming on here, our destination is Kilo Delta Alpha Lima for Dallas Love Field. And then our destination is Kilo Alpha Mike Alpha for Amarillo, Texas. Our flight number, we already said, was Whiskey November 16. We'll get that entered in. What's our runway that we are using? 31 right. Go get 31 right entered in. That's looking good. We'll go over to our departure, and we will get that entered in. And looks like we are taking the Sunset 4 and Haddad transition. Let's see if the Sunset 4 is even available. I've noticed that the PMDG can be outdated sometimes. There it is. Sunset. And let's get the Haddad transition. Haddad, Medad. Alright. Looking good to go. Let's come back over here to our route. After Haddad, we are heading to Civex. And it's actually a direct arrival. That's very nice. And it's going to be an interesting arrival. We're actually landing LDA runway 22. LDA isn't like an ILS. It's not meant to be a fully instrument landing system. It's only meant to kind of guide you down to where you need to be and visually see the runway and then fly on in yourself. So, yeah, so it should be a pretty simple approach and arrival. I'm not thinking that anything is going to go wrong. Let's hope not, at least. So Civex is going to be our next waypoint. We'll enter in Civex, and then it is time to pick our arrival. Like I said, we are going in runway 22. Let's see if they have the LDA. Yep, LDA 22. That's what we're taking in right there, so we'll take that. No transition, which is fine. So let's come back over here to the route and just see what we need to do here. Beginning of every disaster story. Yeah. Civex. I've never programmed an LDA before. So is this something that we can get rid of? No. Let's see what it looks like. If not, we'll just settle for the RNAV and I'll just make a change real quick. Let's bring this over to plan. And bring this over to legs and step through this very quickly and see where the discontinuity is. There it is right here. Can we clear that out from the legs page? Is it possible? Not looking like it is going to be possible. From Civex, we'll keep stepping through Civex. What is that? Quad? Interesting. Why can I not get rid of that discontinuity, though? It's not clear. It's delete. Invalid delete. Spend a little bit here. Civex. Everything's looking fine up until we get here. And then we have... Oh, I think I see what's going on. Yep, there it is. Okay, that's fine. What we'll actually do is we'll just begin to vector ourselves here anyway and turn right. Just click on the next leg. Yeah, usually you would click on the next leg, CF22, and pop that in. But what that's going to do is that's going to jump us right here, but we're not going to do that. So right when we get to the end here, we'll just make a right-hand turn and vector ourselves in for the LDA. Okay, that's fine. I am happy with that. Let's continue on along here. Route. So that should be good to go. Hopefully we'll be alright. So we'll activate and we'll execute that. Time to get our performance ready to go here as well. Let's get our zero fuel weight entered in 131.7. Our reserve fuel that we are going to be taking along with us is going to be 2,331 pounds. So we'll just do 2.3. Our cost index for this leg is going to be 50. Nice. Perfect. Our cruise altitude is looking like we are cruising at 320. too terrible. Our average cruise wind, 304 at 6.6. Perfect. Okay, I'm happy with that. We'll execute that in. We'll go over here to our N1 limit. Selected outside air temperature. We're going to do 35 for that. There we go. Do we want to derate? We should be pretty light, so we'll derate. We'll derate the climb as well. Takeoff, we'll go ahead and select flaps 5 per usual. CG, we'll get that populated in. Excellent. 143 on our V1. Rotate is 144 and V2 is 150. Fitty. Fitty Sam. Alright, everything is looking good there. I think pretty much we have everything all set up that we need on the FMC. I don't believe that there's anything that we are missing. We have pretty much everything set up that we need. Oops. So we'll just get this over to our prog page. Get this back over to map. Alright, look at that. Pretty easy departure, pretty standard, nothing too crazy that I am expecting. Let's head up back to the overhead panel. We are going to get our APU fired up, so we'll get our left aft fuel pump on. We'll bring our APU switch into the on position. I can zoom in here so you guys can actually see what the bleep I'm doing. And there we go, low oil pressure, we'll get that into start. Our needle has just glitched a little bit there, and then we should see the needle start to rise as the APU fires up. Hey, there we go, APU is coming to life. Wonderful. While we are doing that, let's get a few other things set up here as well. Our cruising altitude is going to be 32,000 feet, so we'll get that set up. Our landing altitude, we have to come over to Navigraph to grab that. Excuse me. This is a very small airport, by the way, and that we're going to Amarillo, and I don't even know. It's weird. I'm thinking maybe is this some kind of maintenance area for the Southwest airplanes, because it's got a very small terminal and it only looks like it's got 1 or 2 jetways. So I'm wondering if it's a maintenance area for Southwest. DOD, you might know that. Our airport elevation is 3,607 feet. So we'll just go 3,600 there for the landing altitude. Wonderful. APU is all fired up, so we'll get the APU generators turned on. We'll get the APU bleed on as well. Get our packs into auto. And we can bring this up to APU gen. And before we forget anything else, we are going to head down here and we are going to dismiss... Oops, wrong one. We are going to dismiss the old ground power unit, seeming as we no longer need that. Beautiful. Where do I see the landing altitude? So, if you go on SimBrief, if you go into Navigraph and you look at your charts and you pull up the airport parking spots or airport info, and I'll show you, actually. I don't generally share the actual screen, but I will. So bringing it over here so you guys can see it. Landing altitude is right here, airport elevation. Airport elevation, 3,607 feet. So, there we go. No maintenance in AMA, interesting. But yeah, see, this is our little airport that we're going into here, and here's the terminal. So there's 7 gates, so it's quite a tiny little airport. Just like our little PVD over here. Not anything too crazy, but a very large runway. We have 13,502 feet of room to work with on our arrival, so we shouldn't have any issues just in case we need to float it out. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. No worries at all. Okay. So, everything is looking pretty much all right. We're just going to come over here to our MCP, and we got to get some information entered in here, which is actually going to be our V2 plus 10, so that's going to be 160. We'll get 160 dialed in. There we go. We'll arm the auto throttles. We'll get our flight directors armed as well. Cruising altitude, we're just going to set this direct up to 32,000 feet. We're not using ATC or anything like that, so we will just get ourselves cleared right up to 32,000. And as far as our runway heading, here in Dallas, taking off runway 31 right, so it should be about 310 or so. 313. Excellent. That's all programmed for us and ready to go. We're going to cheat and press B to set our altimeters. There we go. That's looking nice. And we can get our trim set. Normally you do this when the engines are set, but I will forget. And so we're going to set our trim to 6 already. Remember, folks, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button on this stream. I would really, really, really greatly appreciate that. You'd be doing me a huge favor. And if you are new here and haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button. You'd be doing us all a huge favor here as well. Join the MB crew. Let's take a look outside just before we request pushback and get away from the gate. That is our lovely 737. We have a boatload of other 737s. Looks like we have a 700 back over here, a couple of 800s over here. What do we have over here to our left? Looks like another 700 right here and a few other 737s. There's the city of Dallas out there. Okay, I think that we can request pushback now. We're going to come up to GSX. We are going to prepare for pushback and departure. So they are going to take care of everything that they need to out there. We are going to get the rest of our fuel pumps turned on. I don't believe we have any fuel in the center tanks. No, we do not. So center tanks will stay off. We'll get our yaw damper on. We are all over the place. I haven't flown this airplane in so long. I'm just kind of trying to remember everything here and make sure I'm not going to forget everything. We'll get our electronic hydraulic pumps on as well. We'll get our window heats on. Probe heats can stay off until we are done pushing. We'll get our seatbelt signs on. We will get our beacon lights on. Okay, I think that we are good to go.
Departure checks completed.
Oh no, we don't have any wing views set up. I haven't flown this airplane on stream in so long, we don't have any wing views set up, so we will need to take care of that after departure, folks. So sorry about that. It's been quite a bit since I've flown this one, and I had to reinstall it. And I actually reinstalled Flight Simulator itself in its entirety. I reinstalled the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle, just because I felt like my simulator was running so horrible. It was running like garbage. So I just went and did a complete uninstall and reinstalled everything, and it seemed to fix everything. We're going to push back out and to our right today. As soon as we start pushback, we will go ahead and start her up. Quaint, I know, quaint little airport. Poor little Providence over here. You know, we live probably like maybe 2 miles from the airport, so we can hear the reverse thrusters of all the airplanes landing, and we don't hear it too often. You hear that more in the morning than you do anything else. Oh, yep, we got to move our chocks. You hear it more in the morning when, you know, when the morning flights are leaving for the day, but then after that, man, it's quiet. Nothing going on.
Start at will.
Release parking brake. We'll go ahead and release that for them. They should please release parking brakes immediately. What is going on? You told me to release the parking brakes. I set the parking brakes, so you told me to release them again. Okay, interesting. All right, we are pushing back, everybody. Let's go ahead and get our packs off for engine start. We're going to turn number 2 first. Number 2 coming into ground. We take a look down here. N2 is beginning to rotate. There it is, coming on up. N1 beginning to increase as well. Oil pressure rising. Okay, 25% N2. We will introduce fuel, and we should hear her come to life. We'll crank the volume so you guys can hear. Enjoy. And there she goes. Engine 2 is coming alive. Come on, GSX, treat us nice and push us back exactly where we need to go, please. Don't do anything too crazy. Oops. Alright, engine number 2 has come alive. We're going to bring engine number 1 over the ground. Same procedure. We're going to look over here. N2 beginning to rise for us. N1 coming up as well. Oil pressure. Let's make sure we're having oil pressure build which we are, perfect 25% N2, fuel flow, she'll come alive.
Parking brakes.
Set our parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
I'm not sure what went on with the parking brake there, because it won't let you use GSX at all unless your parking brake is engaged. And it told us to, if you noticed, GSX told us, like, the voice came on and said, all engines clear, start at will, and then please release parking brake at the same time. So it seems like when I removed the chocks, it did something weird there, so I'm not sure what was up with that. Heading back up to the overhead, now we'll get our engine generators into the on position. APU bleed, we'll go ahead and get that off. We no longer need that. We'll get our packs on. Isolation valve can come up into auto. We will get our APU off. We no longer need that. Switch that over to Gen 1. We can get our probe heats on now as well. And we will come down here and turn our TCAS on. We'll squawk 1200, just like we're putting around in a GA aircraft or something. Go TARA. Alright, everything is looking good. We're going to get flaps to 5 degrees. There we go, flaps to 5. We'll get a look at our flap indicator here, just make sure it gets to 5 degrees successfully. I believe it sees the chocks as a parking brake. Interesting. Camera's crooked. There we go. Means that the cats must have ran into it. Darn kitties. Have a good trip. Okay, that means that we are all good to go. Flaps are at 5. There she goes. Bye, lady. Have a nice day. Get our taxi lights on. We should be all good to go. Taxiing here is going to be rather simple. We're just going to pull straight ahead here. Turn right onto taxiway Bravo up here in front of us. And then a left onto Mike. And then runway 31 right will be right at our nose. Alright. Releasing parking brakes. Let's give her a little bit of go-go juice. And there we are, rolling. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Everyone having a good evening? I hope so. Hope everyone's doing fine. Got a good roll, so we'll idle out the engines here. Here's where we are going to join. I believe this is taxiway Bravo. Turn right onto Bravo. Just follow this for a little while, and then up here we'll make a left-hand turn to join taxiway Mike. It's been quite a while since we've been in the 737. Kind of nervous about our LDA arrival, but sure, it's not anything we won't be able to manage. And if that means I have to do a little bit of hand flying, which is what LDAs are meant for, then so be it. We'll do some hand flying for the approach. I've never done an LDA. Never. It's my first time doing it. I was going to take the RNAV and, you know, but then I saw LDA and I said, hey, works just like an ILS? Yeah, exactly, except it's not a full guidance. It's just meant to get you to the point in the runway to where you can visually land. So, Hopefully everything goes right. Signing off for right now because my Wi-Fi is very sketchy. I'll try to tune in a little bit. Alright, mama. Be safe. Alright, here's where we'll make a left onto Bravo 2 here. And then we will join taxiway Mike. ILS is the same, guide you down to minimums, yep. Unless you're like me and at 1,000 feet, you disconnect. No Cat 3, yeah, it's Cat 1, right? LDA is Cat 1 only. Farmer is still awake, alright. Wait a minute. What's going on with our charts here? According to our charts, there is supposed to be another taxiway here. But apparently there isn't. So I guess we're just gonna follow this all guess we're just gonna follow this all the way down. According to our chart, we were supposed to make a left right there on the Bravo 2 to join Mike. But I guess I did something wrong. I don't know, who knows. So we're just gonna get there on our own. I made a mistake. You see, and that's why for me, VATSIM is what I don't like, because I already know I'd have a ground controller. What are you doing? Don't you know this is a simulator? That's exactly what I tell them. Exactly, it's a simulator, and you take yourself way too seriously. All right. Here's our runway right here, folks. 3-1 right. We're going to go ahead and get our landing lights on. We are going to get our position and strobes on as well. Flaps are set to 5 degrees. We are all set to go, everybody. Enjoy the departure. Engine stable, pressing toga.
Airspeed alive.
Airspeed's alive.
knots. V1, rotate.
Rotate.
E2. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Thanks, Sebastian. Alright, climb power has been set. We'll lower the nose a little bit. We have to take our climb up to 4,000 feet here by the time we reach hers. So we have 4 nautical miles to do so. So we'll just keep following this along here. Okay, lovely. What a nice departure. We are going to get VNAV turned on. LNAV turned on as well. Following our flight director here. Wants us to pitch the nose down now that we've reached 4,000 feet to allow the airplane to accelerate. Flaps will get to 1. We'll get our autopilot turned on as well. Okay, autopilot is on. She's going to take over for the remainder of our departure. Flaps coming all the way up now. Oh, our flaps are all the way up to begin with. I have to calibrate my flap handle on my Bravo, because I had it selected to 2, probably to 1, and it put the flaps up. So perfect takeoff, but now it's bed. It's late here. Good night. See you next time. All right, Farmer. I will see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in, as always, my friend. Look at all that, looks all pixelated down there, huh? Dallas looks rather, blocky and chunky. Okay, so now that we've departed, we can go ahead and set our cameras very quickly. I can't believe I'm doing this while flying, so let's see exactly what happens here. Pilot will pop out, perfect. Go ahead and Control Alt 4 because this will be our front of engine number 1 view. I'm a little bit far back than where I want to be, so we'll back us up a little bit. There we go, this should be good. Lower ourselves down a little bit, scoot ourselves in a little bit closer. There we go. Control Alt 4 again. Awesome. Now we have a view of engine number 1. And we are going to continue back. Oh shoot, we went inside the cabin. Crap, now we're stuck. There we go. What is going on, airplane? What are you doing? Engines are making a lot of noise. Go. Normally I would have done this beforehand, but I forgot all about it. So we're doing it now. There we go. We'll get behind the wing here, kind of hug nice and close to the cabin. Control Alt 1. Okay. So we have these views set up for now. Let's see what's going on. We have a 9,000 feet restriction here, so that's why we are just kind of chilling, and the engine's spooled down a little bit. So let's continue along with getting our views all set up here. Let's go way above the airplane. There we go. Come on, I hate how this does this. It's so finicky. Go. Here's a good shot right here. We'll go Control Alt 6. That is set, and then we will just get ourselves to about a midway point. I like the view of engine number 2 to be a little bit shorter, so about right here should do well. Control Alt. Alright, so now we should have everything all set up. Okay, groovy, we have our wing views set up now. Wonderful. Alright, there goes 10,000 feet. Get our landing lights off now. Taxi lights can come off also. We're on a very shallow climb here as we accelerate up to, looks like 325 knots. Okay, lovely. We are doing absolutely awesome. Grab the simulator volume down a little bit. Okay. Get a look at our progress page here. We have 292 nautical miles to go until we reach Amarillo, and 77 nautical miles until we reach the top of our climb, which means we'll only be cruising for probably about, I don't know, 65, 70 nautical miles or so which is only going to be about 10 minutes. So, nice and quick flight, nice and quick hop, exploring Texas. Oops. Yes. Okay, yeah, so LDAs are Cat 1 only. So that's cool. The only major difference between localizer approaches and LDAs is that LDAs are not aligned with the runway. Even though the LDA isn't aligned with the runway, straight-in minimums can be published when course alignment doesn't exceed 30 degrees between the course and the runway. Ooh, okay. So, yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Turn the sim volume down, we can go outside. There's our lovely 737-800. My camera looks crooked, and I have no idea why. How's that? Is that better? There we go. At 18,000 feet, we'll throw some music on as well. If the music service wants to cooperate with us, it's not loading currently. Sorry, had to make the misses a Mai Tai. Alright, what did I miss? Absolutely nothing. We just passed transition altitude, so we need to get back inside the flight deck here. And we need to go into standard. Go click that standard, looking good. Okay. Alright, here we are on our way up through 19,500 feet. We're going up to 320. Get the sim volume cranked back up again. Don't tend to go outside too often. Before I do so, I always lower the sim volume, so just know that. Did our website load for our music? Yes, it did. Okay. Lovely. Remember, folks, if you haven't done so already, hit like on the stream. We'd greatly appreciate it. One thing I do need to announce, I was originally going to be working from home tomorrow, which would enable me to stream at 4:30 so we could do our All Nippon Airways Japan flights. However, that is going to be pushed back a little bit. I think I can still stream, but it won't be until about 5 o'clock. I won't get home from work until almost 4:30, so... So 5 o'clock tomorrow, folks, not 4:30. Little schedule change at work, so I do have to go into the office. Back to work tomorrow, oh boy. Any jobs planned already? Anything crazy going on? Won't find out till I get there. Oh boy. Well, hopefully it's a nice, easy day for you. Hopefully the aviation gods will be kind to us. Well, let me tell you, if I completely slam our gear down today, DOD, we'll send our 737 into your hangar and you can get it fixed for us. .87 frames per second right now. You can see butter smooth, about as smooth as it gets with the frame gen mod. Last week, I had the bleed trip issue, a gear swing, and a broken cabin door. Oh boy. What was wrong with the cabin door? I take it, would it not latch or not lock? Oops. Not all the same plane, but still, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not like you're opening the hood of a Honda Civic or anything, you know? Although, if you watch the movie Airplane, it's funny, I always like that when they're in the cockpit getting everything ready, that scene where the guy comes and changes the oil and he pops the hood open on the 707. The door was written up for being difficult to open, oh boy. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor? We've got our Clarence, Clarence. Ridiculous, but such a funny movie. You're right, an instant classic that I think any aviation fan should watch. Where are we sitting at for subscribers, I wonder? 781. All right. Wonderful. Getting closer and closer to our goal of 1,000. Hopefully we can hit it. We found an assist rod, worked its way loose, and would jam up on the door frame intermittently. Got it. Sounds like it would be an easy fix though, right? I mean, I may be wrong. Hey, DOD, what was the name of that application you were telling me about where you researched your routes? I was trying to remember. You told me the other day. I was trying to remember last night, but I'm brain farting it. Fix was easy, except you need to replace a lock washer, And we had 0 stock. Oh boy, those lock washers, huh? Every time. Alright, we should be approaching our cruising altitude. Just past 30,000 feet, we'll be cruising at 32,000. Top of climb is in 7 nautical miles. ...221 nautical miles to go overall. Not a cloud in the sky. Do I have the weather turned on? Live weather is on, but real time isn't. That's interesting. But live weather is on, so I guess it's just this clear over Texas today, folks. I love it. I'll take this all day long. We have a pretty strong headwind, though, 69 knots, which is kind of taking a damper on our ground speed, only 399. There's cruise altitude, folks. 32,000 feet. We are leveled off. Cruise speed now 401 knots. About 30 minutes to go until we arrive in Amarillo. I can't for the life of me remember what the name of that app was. Someone else told me another app that they use to look up classic, like, defunct airline routes. And again, I forgot the name of that too, and I said I would check it out because that would make things really easy if we plan on flying the MD-80 or the A300. Flight Sim Dispatch. Okay. Let me see if I can find that. Yep, flightsimdispatch.com. Okay. I will download that app later. Thank you, friend. Did my link not show? No, I did not. I don't think that my Nightbot allows links to be pasted. But my Nightbot's actually working. He was asleep for a couple streams, and I didn't even notice it. You know, like how the automatic Nightbot comments will make its way in. I didn't even notice that those weren't popping up for my first couple of streams back here until someone tried to do exclamation point specs, and nothing came up, and I was like, oh boy. Shared the link when I asked? Well, thank you. Darn you, Nightbot. Stop blocking our links, damn it. There's Who Dad. Who Dad, me Dad. Who Dad already. And 195 nautical miles to go. The simulator is behaving nicely. I actually had to update the PMDG. Hadn't flown it in a while, so always like to check that, and there was indeed an update. I was only one update behind though, so not too terrible. I can be pretty poor when it comes to making sure all of my plugins and everything else are updated, and that's a large amount of the reason as to why I completely reinstalled the simulator. I deleted the entire community folder, everything in it. I took everything out just because I feel like I had so many things in the community folder from past streams and different liveries, and you know, who knows what could be causing the simulator to bug out. And you know, somebody was like, oh, go through the harrowing process of removing everything from your community folder and putting it back in and seeing if that's causing the issue. I'm like, who the hell has time to do that? Burner, what's up, buddy? Welcome. I just found out this morning that I had Microsoft Flight Simulator installed twice. Oh no. Taking up a lot of hard drive space, huh? Yeah, I had I think like 190 something gigabytes worth of content in my community folder before I did a clean wipe of it. So yeah, I freed up a lot of room on my PC. Ah, delicious water. Hello, kitty. We have a kitty on the desk. You might see the tail. Nope, no tail. Oh, there it is. Get that tail out of the way. Meow. Meow. When? She just likes to walk back and forth in front of my keyboard. Don't step on anything now, I'll be upset. I was updating FSLTL and I kept getting an install error. Yeah, I imagine it probably couldn't figure out which directory to install to, right? That's what that sounds like. Kitty, there's no room for you up here. I'm sorry, I have way too much stuff up here and you're just doing circles. And you're stepping all over my stuff. Come on, get over here. Found the duplicates in my C drive. Oh man. DOD 69, haha. Nautical miles, now 68. Because of that, we're going to go ahead and get our MCP altitude reset now so we don't forget. Let's grab a look at our chart here and see exactly what altitude the LDA is calling for. Looking like the LDA is calling for 5,000. So we'll go ahead and set 5,000 here. Just so when it comes time to start descending, the airplane will do it on its own. Freed up over 70 gigabytes. Whew. Yeah, whenever I think the clean install of the simulator is probably the best thing I've ever done. Just because now the simulator just runs so much better. So much better. You know, who knows what the heck was in the community folder causing my simulator to bug out. You know, it could have been a number of different things. You know, random liveries I've downloaded or whatever. that even though you're not using in the simulator itself with the airplane you're flying, it'll still have adverse effects on the way the simulator performs. Geek is in the house. What's going on, friend? Thank you for popping in. Two weeks ago, I reinstalled my simulator onto my new SSD, and it was taking up 500 gigabytes. Yep, that's probably about what mine is. 500 gigs, around there. It was just over 600 before I reinstalled everything. Hanging out like a hare and a biscuit. All right. Hopefully you don't eat the hair, huh? Our ground speed has improved a little bit. But now, for some reason, one thing I've noticed on my FlyLiveStudios, I've noticed that the altitude is always about 1,000 feet off, and I can never understand why. My official add-on folder itself was 310 gigs. Holy moly. Depends on how hungry I am, right? We had Taco Bell last night. And my stomach paid for it this morning greatly, believe me. My stomach was not happy with me at all. And we had to order it 3 times. We did DoorDash because I'm lazy and don't feel like going anywhere. That, and it's, 20 degrees outside. So we ordered Taco Bell from DoorDash. Now, the first mistake that they made was the lovely order that was dropped off the first time was wrong. They gave me someone else's order, but I could see where the mix-up was, because they gave me the order for someone named Mike, and they gave... my DoorDash name is Michael. I always use my full name. And they gave me the order for a Mike, not a Michael. So we dealt with DoorDash. We called them, reordered the food. About 20 minutes went by. DoorDash called me and was like, yeah, there's a problem with our ordering process system, so we're going to refund your money to your bank account, which, of course, takes 7 to 10 business days. And they were like, but what you can do is just reorder your food again and place a whole brand new order. So spend the money all over again. So that's what we ended up doing. At that point, it was almost like 7:30. We originally ordered the food at like 5:15. First world problems, right? There we go. There's the top of a descent appearing on our ND right now, so the airplane will start descending on its own very shortly in less than 40 nautical miles. 35 nautical miles to be exact. And one thing, I want you guys to look. Whenever I click my right mouse button in to look around, look what happens to our speed bug here. Look. See what it's doing? It's almost like it's switching. It's weird. And I've never been able to figure out what's causing the problem. I don't have anything mapped to the right mouse button other than free look. So I don't know what's causing that, but it does it all the time, and believe it or not, if you listen very closely when I do it, you can hear the cabin chime go ding. So I don't know what it is. It's always done that. Always. Taxing in Houston is very tedious. Oh yeah. Weird seeing you streaming at this time. Yeah, well, I'm back. I'm back to streaming now. I had to take a little break. I had a lot going on with work, and I had to take a couple of tests, and just really had to focus on that. But I worked from home today, so I ended work at 4 o'clock. So 4:30 is the perfect time for me to stream. There is a stream scheduled tomorrow as well, but that is going to be pushed back until 5 o'clock, not 4:30. Just because I Do have to go into the office tomorrow, so hopefully I'll still be able to make tomorrow's stream. If not, I will reschedule it for sometime next week. Just because we'll be flying in Japan, and that's a good afternoon stream, so if we're, we're flying or streaming 4:30 local time, it'll be just before about 7 in the morning in Japan, so that works out perfectly as far as the timing is concerned. And I know I could just as easy. Look at that gear lever. Never lets me put it down to off. You see, this is what I was talking about with my gear. If I have my gear lever up on my throttle quadrant, it will not let me select it down into the off position. It's like stuck. It wants to, you can see, but it just won't do it. Although that doesn't happen in the A300, so I don't know. Weird. He has the same issue. What one, the gear or the right clicking? The gear handle, yeah. Oh well. I imagine that means that the hydraulic motors are just continuously running all the time, so... But that's why we have guys like DOD to fix it for us for when we burn them out. You will have constant pressure on the retract actuator. Oh boy. So I imagine that's a problem after a long while, right? Good developments will leak. Gotcha. Well, every 737 I fly must have a bunch of leaks. Because I can't get into the off position. That's no bueno? Yeah, I would say not. But oh well. Good thing it's a simulator, right? Alright, there's TOD, everybody. Down we go. Ooh, quite an aggressive descent that the airplane is doing there. 2,900 feet per minute, but they all leak in CBIRL, yeah, I'm sure. Especially the older ones, I would imagine. It's like any old car, they all leak and burn oil eventually, they all leak coolant and eat coolant and all that, you know. As long as it starts and does what it's supposed to do and works, then what's a little leak, you know? Remember, folks, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button on this stream for me. I would greatly appreciate that. If you are new here, please consider joining the MB crew and hitting that subscribe button. Everybody in chat and all the MB crew would greatly appreciate that. Make the channel grow as much as we can. Currently sitting at 781 subs. Absolutely fantastic. Chasing 1,000, less than 300 to go now. So here's where we will make the right-hand turn to get, when we get down to 5,000. We'll make a right-hand turn over here, and then a left. We should get the LDA right here. Have a nose view set up? No, we don't. Let's get one set up, though. We'll need one of those for later on. There we go, that'll do. Wonderful. Nose view is all set up. We have some Fenix A320 action scheduled as well. I believe that stream is Saturday. Will be British Airways doing some short hops in the UK. I haven't flown the Fenix in quite a long time, so that'll be a fun one. Did I set up my wing view? Sure did. Sure did. Here they all are. Now, off stream, I've flown the PMDG. My goodness, that's loud. Turn that down a little bit. Flying the Phoenix right now, nice. Just departed Houston for LaGuardia. The wind is currently 13022, gusting at 28. Yeah, it's rainy and stormy. LaGuardia is only probably like a 55-minute flight away from me, so we're getting a big storm overnight. So you better hope you better get your airplane in there quickly. First time in forever, yeah. You know, I kind of tended to stray away from the Fenix after a while, just because I noticed it's very taxing on my PC. And it's very difficult to have a nice stream when, you know, the stream is stuttering and being glitchy because of the airplane. It's just a lot of complexity, I imagine, but the PMDG I feel like is just as complex, and you know, I don't have any problems with the frames. Like, we're getting 94 frames per second right now on our way in, so it's weird. Hopefully my power stays on for my whole flight. Yep, I hope so too. It just started raining here just before I started streaming, which I'm happy we're getting a rain so it'll wash the snow away. Because I just hate having snow on the ground. I feel like I'm gonna slip and fall whenever I have to walk in it. So yeah. This is gonna be the last song, ladies and gentlemen, whatever song it is. This will be the last one. Before we need to turn it off and really focus on the arrival. Hope you have better winds than I had this morning flying around Texas. Yeah, the winds are actually looking pretty good. Let's see. METAR. Oh, I have to type it in, really? Winds 230 at 12, good visibility, clear skies, altimeter 29 or 79. So, Looking alright, not too terrible. I mean, we were dealing with 30 knot winds on Sunday's stream, so I'm happy to have a little bit more calm. Gonna hit the lavatory before landing, alright, sounds good. And welcome to the stream, RTC Mall. Great for you to be here, thank you for tuning in. Just about to go below transition altitude here. I don't have a METAR set up. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to get the METAR set up so you guys can ask chat. Gonna have to look that up. I think you just have to hit the arrival button. Oh yeah, look at that. I am so dumb, guys. Yep, you're right. I haven't used the fly pad at all here, so I have no idea. Yeah, but 230 at 12, that's not bad at all. But yeah, you see, it's we have a good route here showing us where we need to go for Amarillo, so we are nearly there, folks. Nearly there. Get out of standard now. Press B to get our altimeter dialed in right. There we go. And we are going to make our right-hand turn at CVEX over here. And we'll probably turn... Let's see... Probably turn to about a heading of 050, so we'll go ahead and get that plugged in. Right off the rip. Oh, 035. Should be good. Alright, that's going to be it for the music, everybody. Go ahead and stop that. We'll get the simulator up nice and loud. Just so we can all be amazed by the beautiful sounds of which it has to offer. Yeah, I've noticed several other streamers have Nightbot tell what the METAR is for all of our for their airports, and I just have no idea how to set it up. I've never searched on how to do it. I noticed that Dayroll Dad has it, but I've never set that up myself. I'm not sure what goes into doing that. I'm sure it's something pretty easy. How's the cats? They are wonderful. None of them are around me. I think they're all in the living room bothering Taylor. I'll give you a link, but your Nightbot doesn't like me? Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, I think I have links disabled for everybody. Just so no one's spamming the chat with links of God knows what, you know. Putting in all kinds of nasty stuff. No, they are fed, sleeping out with full bellies. All right, thanks, babe. Alright, get that zoomed in. We got about 10 nautical miles before we'll make our right-hand turn. We're getting bumped around quite a little bit of turbulence as we pass below 12,000 feet. We do have a slowdown right here, at least we should. The airplane should slow itself down automatically to 250, at least I hope. The Discord, yeah, you can put the link in the general section of the Discord, and I will check it out later on. FMC speed, there it goes. So now we should be slowing on down to 250, I would think. But yeah, we got a little bit of turbulence that we're flying into here, getting bumped around a little bit. We can see the wing dancing for us. She's dancing for us, folks. My goodness, look at our speed. Doing a little bit of a dance. Holy crap. Someone just came whipping into our parking lot here at our complex, and I just noticed it. There's our runway right in front of us. Not our runway. There's our airport right in front of us. That's not going to be our arrival runway. Our runway is facing this way. There we go, 250. We got our landing lights on as well. We'll throw our taxis on, even though we probably don't need to have them on, but it's okay. Alright, we have reached our last waypoint, so we're going to go over here to heading select. Get ourselves turned to 035 degrees. And we'll get ourselves into vertical speed mode as well and keep on descending down to 5,000 feet. We'll lower the speed down to 240. And while we're waiting to get closer, let's go ahead and pull up our LDA arrival. Looking like the frequency is going to be 111.1. There we go. We'll do the same for the first officer side. Okay. Course is going to be 214. Go. Have all that dialed in. Yeah, we are getting blasted by some wind right now. Heading into Amarillo up here at 9,000. Is this METAR data correct? 230 at 12 knots. I mean, we'll see. My plane is hitting wind shear at 25,000 feet. Oh boy. Hey, look at that. Look at the wind farms. That's cool. Green energy. Told you the winds are fierce. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, we're going to see what's going to happen here on our arrival, because the winds are pushing us all over the place here. Hopefully maybe once we descend a little bit more, it'll treat us a little nicer. I'm going to slow the airplane down a little bit more as well. We'll slow down to 220. Also adjust a little bit. Just our turn. Yeah, not sure what's going on with these winds, but why does that keep doing that? We were not looking that way when we changed view. Whenever we come back into the cockpit, we're looking the opposite direction. Weird. Sebastian's back. All right. Let's go ahead and make our left-hand turn now.
2,500.
Better luck time, let's hope. Although our altitude is very high, so we are very low to the ground. In time for the landing? Oh yeah. Ooh. Man, winds are at 60 knots. What is going on here? What if there's something going on with the weather engine? Because that's bizarre. Because look, we're getting pushed around like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the deal is, but I don't like it. Because our METAR data shows us having 230 at 12 knots. Not 60. So, I have no idea what to expect here. I'm in the lavatory, hopefully the winds don't get me wet. Well, let's hope not. But I don't like that. That's not right. Something's weird with that. Something's not going on right with the weather. Definitely for sure. Everything else matches with the winds. It says clear skies, visibility's great. But that wind is messed up, so we'll see what's going to happen here. Go ahead and get approach mode on now. It's going to be impossible to land this airplane in 58 knot winds. But dare I right now just I hate to do it, but do I just go into the weather, guys, and just turn off live weather and just set it to clear? Because that's not right. What do you guys think? Do I set it to clear? Because the weather isn't right. Wonder what happens if I unclick this. Oh god. And then click this. It did nothing to fix it. It did nothing to fix it. If anything, it made it worse. But we are all set up to go on the LDA. Give a shot at landing. Yeah. Alright, I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. But those winds aren't right. Something is not right there. Look at this angle. Look at the crosswind. 56 knots? I'm not gonna be able to land this airplane. No way. But I suppose we'll give it our best shot. Is that our runway? That is our runway right there. So, let's go into heading select. Oh no, I should have set my heading first. What could possibly go wrong, right? We're gonna go flaps 2. Auto brakes, we'll get those set. Spoilers, we will arm those. Bring our speed down to 160. Approach VREF not selected. I know, I've been so focused with the wind here, I didn't select that. So 142 is going to be our speed. Flaps 10.
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
I know, airspeed, I know. It's because we have a 60 knot tailwind currently. Alright, I'm disconnecting the autopilot and we're just going to attempt to take this in like a madman. I wasn't paying attention. We're on a 5-mile final. We're not anywhere aligned with the runway. We have a 50 knot crosswind hitting our nose. There's our runway right there. Let's go ahead and do a nice big right turn. We'll get the replay tool going just in case. We'll bring this down to VREF. We will drop the gear.
1,000.
This isn't going to go very well, is it?
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
I know, airspeed, I know. Trust me. I am well aware of what's going on. 55, 56 knot crosswinds. Finally some Boeing. Just finished a nice section of mass and balance calculations for ATPL. Nice. Yeah, this is gonna go well. What could go wrong here? What could go wrong? We are extremely high. Oh no. Folks. Well, you guys told me to give it a shot with the winds the way they were.
Sink rate.
We're just gonna go for it. Oh, now look at that. Now look at the winds. 12 knots, 13 knots. Yeah. Alright, let's dip the nose a little bit. Yep, sink rate.
Pull up.
I know.
Sink rate.
I'm well aware.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
10.
Oh, man. Minus 291 on that. Oof. Yeah, oof. That was weird. I don't really like that very much with the winds, so if I load back into the simulator and those are still our winds, we're gonna turn the weather off, because that's just as soon as we got below 500 feet, the winds went down to 12 knots, which is where they were supposed to be. So something's not going on with the weather. Something's wrong with the weather here in Dallas. Not sure what the bleep is wrong, but that ain't right. Alright, well, we're gonna get a nice replay of that at least. But you handled it. We did. Definitely would have lost my job. And we put her down firm, minus 291. But alright, we're gonna come to a stop here. We're going to stop the replay. We're going to play the replay.
Airspeed's alive. Positive rate of climb.
Handed it like a champion. Let's see what happens. Like a pro, yeah. let's just fast forward a little bit. Imagine coming into land at your in real life and seeing your runway at an angle like that. Our flaps are doing whatever the heck they want. My goodness. Yeah, minus 291 isn't bad for the 56 mile an hour crosswinds we were getting, or 56 knot crosswinds we were getting just before we came on, and about right here is where the winds evened out. Oh yeah. Well, if you're first tuning in here for the first time, folks, don't be scared. That's not normally what we would get on our arrival, but for whatever reason, the winds were not doing what they were supposed to. But if we go back here and we get into the flight deck, right? Look. 50, 56, 49, 50, 53. It's all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. And then so, oh well, we did about as well as we could possibly do. Let's skip this ahead. This is where we start our death turn. Something's amiss with the weather, and it's okay. Just Microsoft Flight Simulator being Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, well, I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't that for the arrival. We'll go outside, we'll get a view from the outside of whatever you want to call that. Whatever you want to call what this landing just was. Dinner bell rang, gotta go eat. Alright, DOD, enjoy your meal, my friend. Thank you for popping in. But, yeah. And then right when we got about right here, the winds went to where they were supposed to be, which was about 12 knots. So I wonder if I go online and search it if anybody else is having the same issue with Amarillo. So we planted her down pretty hard, and we bounced. Bro bounce. Alright, we'll get one more view here, everybody, And if you're just tuning in and you're wondering what the heck all this is about, again, we will go back inside the flight deck so I can show you. 46, 47, 50. The winds were absolutely fierce
1,000.
at 1,000 feet. Yeah, that was crazy. Something's not going on with the simulator. Something's not right with the simulator weather. So I think the next leg we're gonna fly in fair weather. We're not gonna do real world weather just because I don't feel like dealing with that again. But everybody try to keep their pants on here, or keep their pants on. Whoa! Everybody try to not shit themselves as they watch this next replay view. I'll be right back with you, everybody, in probably about 10-15 minutes as I reload the simulator after this replay. So we're going to turn this camera view on. I'll be right back with you, everybody. Enjoy this last replay view of whatever the heck you want to call what we just did.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
300.
Sync rate. Pull up. Sync rate. Sync rate.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
10.
Okay, folks. Excuse me. I have some bad news. Something went awry with the simulator while we were reloading. We got an error I've never seen before. It was an error about, like, we hope you enjoy the simulator experience. Something went wrong with loading, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, oh, you know, whatever. It's not that weird. So it crashed. I opened it again, and now that I've opened it again, all of my personal settings are gone. Everything. So as you can see, all of, like, we'll go to blank live. Check this out. All of the assistance options are turned on. All of my profiles for all of my controls are gone. And legitimately gone. All of my graphics settings are completely reset. And, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but I never fly with any of this stuff turned on, ever. When have you guys ever seen me fly with any of this turned on? And then I came to realize that, actually, I'm not signed into the cloud underneath, like, my profile, so it's not loading, like, my Microsoft or Xbox profile or whatever you want to call it into the simulator, and I don't know why. And this is just, look at how it's behaving. See how it's, yeah, and I know that's what the frame gen mod will do, but I've already tried to fix for it when we were reloading 3 times while trying to do it. Which is all you do is you go into the graphics settings and you switch it to TAA and then back, and it should fix the problem, but it's not fixing it. And we have all this stuff here, so I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know why it happened, but I'm just going to cut this one short. The weather's not acting right. You know, we've had a heck of a lot of issues going on here, and I can't even play American Truck Simulator for like an hour. Now look at that, the game is frozen altogether. Oh, there it goes. Just completely froze up altogether on me. So something's wrong with the simulator. Look, it's flickering. See all that? I'm not sure what the deal is. So I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to cut this one short just by choice. I'm only doing it just because the simulator is being buggy, and I'm going to have to go check everything out to see what it's going. And I haven't eaten dinner yet, and it's 6:30, and this is going to delay us, and I'm just not going to spend time on stream trying to fix the problem. So I'm sorry, everybody. I'm not sure what the dealio is here, but I've never seen that error before. It was like, contact Zendesk, like, you know, we're sorry, we hope you enjoy the simulation, yada, yada, yada. That was like the strangest thing I've ever gotten before. And then all of a sudden we got this. All of this stuff came back. All of our add-ons are still there, all of our airplanes, GSX is there, everything is there, but now it's just being buggy and just glitchy and just overall just... yeah, just not good. So I'm cutting this one short, everybody. I'm so sorry to tell you that in the chat. I apologize. But the good news is there's another stream scheduled for tomorrow. So I'm going to have to go back into the simulator, reconfigure everything, get all of my controls set back up and set to go. And yeah, and go from there. But like, as you can see, it works. See, like, we get movements, like, that's fine. Like, this is fine, but all of my stuff over here that controls everything else, nada. It's not working. So, I'm not sure what... I think it's just the default. Yeah, so the gear lever works, which is fine, but I bet the flap access isn't set, right? Nope. Throttles. Yeah, throttles aren't set. Speed brake, not set. So, yeah. I don't know what happened or why the simulator had to do this to us, but apparently it was gonna happen regardless because of the winds that we suffered on the way in, so... sorry, folks. This one's being cut short. Thank you all for tuning in that did. I really appreciate all of you. Remember, tomorrow we are streaming. It's gonna get pushed back. At worst case, it could get postponed depending on how my day with work goes at the office and everything like that. If it does get postponed, you will see that in the Discord. So please check the Discord for that. It'll most likely, if it gets postponed, it will take place on Monday afternoon. So, I'm so sorry, everybody, again, to cut it short, but I just won't fly the simulator like this, and I have a lot of work to do on it. So, with the little time that I have to do it, I'd rather get the simulator up and running the way it's supposed to for the next stream. So, sorry everybody, I'll catch you all on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye for now.